All right, everybody, welcome back to the Imagination Station. My name is Eddie, and today we're doing another movie rewind. And today I'm here with Victor Ochoa, like always.
Hello.
And today's special guest is Katy de la Hoya.
What up, what up?
All right, all right. So, have you guys seen anything today?
No, I'm unfortunately I was at work, my other job.
Okay.
Didn't have time.
Nothing since Sunday.
No,
Nothing since Sunday?
nothing.
I did see something, but we could talk about it later. It's not worth mentioning.
Okay.
Mortal Engines. There, I said it.
He said it.
But it wasn't nothing super spectacular. So today we're doing another episode, but it's going to be a shorter one today. So we're going to skip the movie news today, but we are going to have that Give 'em Cash, our trailer trash segment. And the trailer that we saw today, just before we started recording here, was Joker. That's that new Joker movie that's going to be coming out in October. So we'll start with you, Kathy, since you're a big Joker fan. Not really. Okay. What were your thoughts on the trailer?
Well, just from the trailer, it actually looks interesting. You know what? To me, he has mental issues, and that makes me uneasy. But you can see how he just breaks down. He looks like he's just breaking down, and at the end of the trailer, he just becomes the Joker, which looks interesting, and I would go see it.
Okay.
So you would give it cash.
I would give it cash.
All right. Give it
Okay.
cash.
Victor?
All right. I got a few things. First of all, I'm going to go ahead and say trailer trash. I'm not interested in seeing the psychological side of the Joker, or at least the way it was portrayed in this trailer, because again, it was to me, first of all, the trailer was slow. I understand maybe that's what they were trying to do, give that angle of read into his character, but for whatever reason, I cannot buy, what's his name, River Phoenix?
Joaquin Phoenix.
Did I say River Phoenix?
Yeah. Joaquin Phoenix.
Joaquin Phoenix.
Joaquin Phoenix.
Ese. I don't know. I don't see him menacing. There's nothing menacing about it. It almost seems like when they hit him with that thing on the trailer, they hit him with his own little, whatever his job was in the streets where he's holding a sign. Someone took it away from him, and he chased and they hit him with it. He just seems so weak to me. Like, I don't understand how he would come up from that and be strong and menacing. He does not scare the shit out of me at all. Now, as far as me, the way I see the Joker in all other characters, all other Jokers that they've come up with have always been intimidating. Even Jack Nicholson, back when it was a little more cartoony to me, even then he was still more scary. This guy, I'm just not feeling it, man. I have no interest in watching this movie whatsoever. So I'm going to go ahead and say trailer trash.
Okay. So one trailer trash and one cash. All right. Me personally, Victor, Kathy, I really liked it. And I know to your point, and I know to your point too, Kathy, it's kind of the same thing where we talk about how the Joker is, and we don't really know why, and it's good enough that we don't know why, because that makes him even creepier. Like, we don't know what made him crazy, or made him the way he is. We know he's insane,
right?
We do know that, but we don't know why, and that makes it even scarier. Now, yeah, you kind of simplify it here, where you take a guy and you just life treated him bad and turned him into this. It's an oversimplification.
Correct.
But I'm talking about the trailer, right?
Mm-hmm.
What I liked about it was I like that slow burn to it, where you kind of do see that process, where it's almost like in like being an anti-hero.
Okay.
Right, from the trailer. I haven't seen the movie. I don't know where it's gonna go.
Right.
But,
what you got from it, from the trailer, yeah.
But I feel that this is one of these movies that it's not gonna be a complete Joker, but it's really gonna aim towards a Joker. So I have a feeling, this one's not even out yet, but I think that it's gonna be one of those movies that if they do it right, it'll have a continuation, like a next part where you see that next level of the psychopath that he is, where he doesn't care, kind of like Heath Ledger's Joker.
Right.
He was already at that level, where like,
right,
he was just gone.
And you know what's funny that you say that? The concept of them trying to read into the Joker, that fascinates me.
Yeah.
Don't confuse the trailer with the whole idea of us wanting to know about the Joker. But for whatever reason, with this particular trailer and the actor, I feel almost like this was an audition for a Joker story, and I'm the guy next.
Right.
You know, and if there was, let's just say it was an audition for trailers,
Right.
I'm like, next.
Right.
You know, that's just like a.
Are you familiar with the Killing Joke?
No.
The comic book.
No.
So that's kind of like an origin story of the Joker, where I think his, if I remember correctly, his wife leaves him or she dies or something happens that he ends up, he gets depressed /
Right.
He runs into a shitload of bad luck. He goes on a job, it goes bad. He gets caught or he gets the blame or I think that's where he falls in that stuff that makes him white.
Right.
Because it's not makeup.
Right.
Yeah. So what I like about this is that he's probably like he's using makeup, but I think that eventually he would lead to that point. I don't think it's gonna be a straight up comic book movie,
It didn't seem like it.
but it doesn't seem like this one is. But it doesn't mean that the next one wouldn't be. You know what I mean?
I don't understand. What do you mean?
Like the next one, because this is just the beginning, where he's not where he ends up yet.
Oh, I see.
So this is one of my issues that I had with movies. For example, like Batman versus Superman, where they just threw in so much in one
Right.
movie
Right.
that had they spread it out. For example, when you have Doomsday that comes out at the end,
Right.
like I don't think you needed Doomsday. I think that
Right.
Superman dying, he could have died in another movie, and you would have cared more. So I think the smart thing about this trailer is that it shows that slowly progressing it and not trying to jam everything in there. Because
Right.
I'm glad I wouldn't mind if Batman didn't come out in it.
No, right. And it seems like it actually seems like he wouldn't. Maybe he'll come out at the end.
Right.
But like I said, there's something about it that does not make me remember. You still gotta have. They should be to some degree. The trailer was foreshadowing that he's gonna be the Joker, right?
Yeah.
I got that out of this trailer. But even then, when the little snippets of him becoming the Joker did not scare me. So again, that's just my opinion. Where when I think the Joker, I think of crazy lunatic.
Right.
He's gonna kill me in a very
Right.
sadistic way. This guy, I feel like I would punch him and knock him out.
Well, yes. yes. Yeah.
But if you see at the end of the trailer, he looks crazy.
Crazy, not menacing. Because there's a lot of crazy people on the street and they don't scare. Now all of them scare me.
Well,
No, but he looks like he don't care no more. Like he got beaten down,
Right.
And that's why he started wearing the makeup, or he started wearing those masks,
Right.
and going out and doing what he does.
remember the Joker. He may not look as menacing as like other villains,
Right.
but he's got crazy on his side.
No, and I saw that, but
and if you look at the movies, the TV shows, he's not only crazy, but he's smart, and
Right.
he's gonna get you. He's
Right.
gonna get who he wants to get.
oh, maybe I've been so. I guess this is maybe the wrong phrase or word. Brainwashed to expect the Joker to be menacing, sadistic. Even in the original Batman with Michael Keaton, where if you remember, he was a criminal already.
Yeah.
They never really got
Yeah.
to the point where he
Yeah.
built it. But he wasn't the Joker. Remember, he was
No,
a criminal,
so-
but he wasn't the Joker. He was already menacing to me. So
Yeah.
maybe that's what I'm saying. I'm so used to the Joker. Even if you give me a backstory, he was already loony.
Right. So I guess yeah, it looks like that his face made him crazy in that Michael
Right.
Keaton movie. So to me, that's more of a lesser Joker origin story.
Right.
Like it's less connected to the Joker, I think, to me. Then he was a good Joker, but how he became the Joker and all that is, for example, Heath Ledger. To talking about again about how being menacing, I believe like in that movie, the only reason Batman didn't die in that movie is because Joker didn't want him to die.
Right.
Because Joker could have killed him. It looks like at any time.
Right.
Had he want to kill Batman, Batman would be dead. But he didn't want him. He
Right.
wanted to fuck with him.
Right.
You know what I mean?
No, on the technical side of it, I have to say it was actually well edited. Actually,
Yeah.
I like to point out certain technical things like the cinematography seems great.
Oh, yeah.
For what I
Yeah.
saw, Robert De Niro, I was surprised Robert De Niro was there. But I did like that aspect of it. But other than the story and the concept behind it, I wasn't.
I think
wasn't moved.
I think it's gonna be a real, maybe like a deep dive into the why he is who he is eventually, you know, and I kind of like that in the sense that you see what he goes through
Yeah,
and what can
I'm
turn.
actually curious
It's kind of
to
like
see that.
it reminds me
Yeah.
of the Nolan Batman, where it's kind of like a grounded Batman, where you could see it possible.
Right.
I think the same about this Joker, that you could see a guy get beaten into the ground,
Right.
that he eventually he his mind takes over.
Yeah,
and-
but,
and-
but that's what I'm saying though. They're trying to grasp another. I don't know. Again, I'm gonna probably use the wrong phrasing. In another universe, another universe of
Right.
showing you this type of Joker.
Right.
Again, I'm more into the crazy. You know, the voice didn't even get to me in comparison to the one that did. Oh my God, what's his name? That did Luke Skywalker too. What's his name?
You're talking about Luke Skywalker.
No, what's the actor's name?
Dude.
Jesus Christ, I can't believe it. They're gonna hate us for this.
I know.
Wait, Hamilton?
Mark Hamill.
Hamilton, yeah,
Mark Hamill. Not
Hamilton.
Mark Hamill.
Hamill.
Mark Hamill does did a lot of not all of them, but all the cartoon
Yeah.
Joker. Even that is more menacing. And you'll be watching the cartoon, the cartoon, the Joker, the cartoon, whatever, but you hear his voice and it's more menacing.
Right.
When I saw this guy, this Phoenix guy, I'm not feeling it, but again, I understand it's a different approach that I'm not buying into it. So that's what I'm saying.
Well, we didn't see much of this in this trailer, but the original trailer, and I know we're not talking about the other trailer, but just to add to what the character, in the beginning of that other trailer, you really see him like down. You saw how thin he was, and
Right.
he's just kind of like broken down. And towards the end of the trailer, where he kind of accepts his
Jokerness?
Jokerness character, you know,
Right.
he's standing up straight. He's walking with confidence.
Right.
You know, that part of him took over, you know.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying though.
But he looks more like he don't give a fuck.
But that's what I'm saying though. What I'm trying to say is that what I got from it, yes, it almost seems like he was reading self-help books and he's confident, Eddie.
Yeah.
That should be everybody's life. You feel you lack of confidence. You read a book, you see a tutorial, a seminar, and then you build. That doesn't mean you go from down on your luck to feel confident. You want to see him loony.
Right.
You want to see him get hurt so much in life and someone killed his family or someone hurt him that he becomes crazy. And I'm talking psychotic crazy where he's actually willing to kill somebody.
Well, he will, but we
I'm
don't
not
know.
saying he's not.
Well, we gotta watch it to
But
see.
there you go.
But I think he will. But if it doesn't
Well,
happen,
if he doesn't, then it's a.
But if
he
it-
shouldn't be the Joker.
but if it doesn't happen in this movie,
Right.
it's a good foundation. And this kind of thing, I think, would kind of fit in that whole Nolan universe. You know what I mean? Like, they don't have to connect this to Justice League and all that stuff because, first of all, I think the tone's a little different.
Well, it's no different than that show Gotham City.
Right.
Batman never comes around. I mean, he is Bruce Wayne as a kid, but
Yeah.
there really is no Batman.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't mind if the story is good and the characters being developed, they don't have to rush it.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I like this performance. I mean, that part where he's walking like a little bit of, he's turning the corner in the hallway and he laughs and
Yeah.
then he just stops.
I just
You know, it's like, it's
Right.
creepy, dude. Like, what is he laughing at? You know, like, he just
Right.
he's losing it, you know?
I guess.
But, so I'm going to give it, cash because I do want to see it.
I'm sorry. Did you say Cash too?
Yeah,
Okay.
because
She's
I
like
want to
that.
see it, but I think it's gonna be a one-timer for me. I don't think I'm gonna love it. I just want to see it.
A
Right.
one timer. Right?
Well,
Okay.
would you see it? Would you say you would go see it in the theater or you
Yeah.
would wait for the
No, I'll go see it in the theater.
Channel 5 premiere? Like Richard, like with Richard,
The film
the
festival.
Channel 5 world
World
premiere. So yeah, I think I would give it cash. I mean, shit.
I would watch it if somebody sat me down, I was drunk, or they had nothing better to do and tied me up. I think I would watch it.
Be like, Victor, let's go.
Let me tell you something. To what we talked about one time about Aladdin, where we were talking about Will Smith in the character, and I said if this wasn't called Aladdin, it would be a decent movie, or it wouldn't be as criticized as much.
Oh, I
Right?
see. Because it's
Yeah.
always deep down, no matter what, people are going to connect it or
Yeah.
compare it
Yeah.
to some level.
So
Yeah.
people are either gonna like it or they're gonna hate it,
Right.
or they're gonna love it, or you know,
Yeah.
or it's either gonna be greatest thing ever or it's gonna be shit. I don't think there's gonna be too much in the middle. So let me ask you: if this wasn't the Joker and it was just some movie about some guy, would you think it was as interesting
No.
or
No.
be less interesting?
No, because again, what you saw, I didn't see. You said that you saw him more confident. That's all I saw. Him confident. That doesn't mean you're crazy. So anybody that builds confidence starts walking, standing straight. I don't think you're crazy. I think, hey, that guy has, has confidence.
Yeah. Well, look at the beginning when that lady gives him shit because he's playing with his son. You know, like he backs off. He doesn't say anything to defend himself. He
Right.
just kind of like just withdraws. And then the other part, when clearly when he was getting his ass beat with his own sign,
That was a sign.
that doesn't show that wasn't a shot of strength.
Right.
But I think he's a good guy trying to do something, because there's this scene where you see it happens really fast. He has like a green wig on,
Uh-huh.
and he's wearing like a medical suit, kind of like Patch Adams.
Right.
So I get the feeling that he goes to hospitals to entertain children as a clown.
Yeah. But
And
let me ask you this.
so I think his
Evito.
intentions are good.
Let me ask you this. I don't know if you noticed, and it's been a trend in the last maybe 5, even more than that, let's say 5 years, that a lot of movies, or even, remember we talked the last episode about Wicked. It almost seems like we want to see the human side of the villains now.
Yeah.
It's been a trend for a while that it almost seems like you're a little in that part of these movies, and you're going along with the right. And I'm not saying it's wrong. I just noticed that, because now you're almost sympathizing for the Joker. I'm not saying you shouldn't or not, but remember, he's the villain. As us growing up watching villains, you can give a shit if he had a shitty past life. You hate him.
Yeah.
Now where everybody's like more sentimental, we're like, oh, give him a chance. Again, I'm not saying you're wrong, but it almost seems like that's the trend, and people are tending to. Right now, what you just said right now, you're sympathizing. Look, people are treating him like shit. He's still a Joker. Okay, you've been treated shit. In my life, I've been treated like shit. I'm not going to go out and kill people
Yeah.
and hurt people, and that's the normal thing. I'm not asking you to give me a cookie. That is the normal thing that you go through lives, you punches, and you still you're still a decent human being.
Right.
So it almost seems like, Victor, give him a chance. The lady got mad at him.
Right.
I'm not gonna give him no free pass to kill people. Or he got his ass beat. I'm still not gonna give him a free pass to beat
Right.
people. And that's, what I'm saying is, on that trailer, it only portrayed like he's weak. He's a weak fucking person, because I want to see more like someone killed his mom.
Right.
Somebody beat the shit out of his kids. Someone, every job he had, he got framed for a job. And those to me would be more like, okay, maybe you can, you kind of justify, okay, maybe that's why he went crazy. But for the examples that they gave me that he became the Joker, it was like, dude, you're not supposed to be a Joker. You're supposed to be fucking live with it, live with the punches in life,
Right.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, that's just my point of view. And I'm gonna drink my soda.
All right. Well, to your point, to be fair to the movie, we don't know exactly what makes him. We kind of we're it's circling.
But that's what I'm saying. For what I saw,
Yeah.
I wasn't impressed.
Right.
I wasn't like buying into pobrecito.
Right.
They show the wrong samples then. They
Right. And
should have shown me more.
And to your point of the trend about the evil guy, I think what that does, I think it's really cool, because when you have a compelling villain,
Mm-hmm.
when you can kind of go, man, I kind of like him,
Okay.
but he's the bad guy.
Okay, but that's what I'm
But he
saying.
still does evil shit. But
So let's say there's another movie that comes up and he's full out the Joker and he kills people. Are you still going to be sympathetic to him? And you just what? You probably will. You're like, well, remember that time he got his mom, so maybe he should kill.
right.
You're not supposed to feel sympathetic for criminals.
No,
You're
no.
not.
Well, remember we talked about Maleficent for a second.
Right.
We talked about how, yeah, she's evil, but we did see kind of why, and that
Right.
made I think, whether you like the character or no, it makes it interesting. It gives it a
Right.
layer like.
Yeah,
of,
because in the cartoon, I didn't like Maleficent.
Period.
Yeah.
Maleficent.
We know what you meant.
But but when I saw the Maleficent movie,
Right.
I loved it.
I know, but all I'm trying to say is that, let's say he had a shitty life, like more than what I saw,
Right.
And they're going to portray it, and then he ends up killing people, right? He ends up killing people. What about those innocent people? They didn't deserve to get hurt. So I'm still going to go for the innocent.
Right.
I don't care how many, someone did this. You're still not supposed to do wrong. So how am I supposed to feel sympathetic to a person that you're still not supposed to do wrong? Life sucks, yes, but that's what I'm saying. The Joker
Right.
should stick as a villain and be the villain. Even if you express why he became, I'll accept that. But I'm not going to watch another movie and it's like, he's killing people. Well, he is pobrecito. I'm not going to go off of that.
I think I get what you're saying. You're not gonna justify it,
Right.
but to a certain degree, you're gonna understand. Like if you went in court, for example, right?
Right.
That's why people can claim, or what is it? They plea insanity or something, because the person doesn't know what they're doing,
Right.
and they can't distinguish right from wrong. I think that's one of the things.
Right.
So at this point, yes, he knows in the beginning, but I think he got to a point where you lose your mind, and now he's kind of like, it's just a brain in a body
Right,
You know,
and-
that's
and-
doing these things that.
I can see, but see, that's us seeing it outside the box. Now, that crazy person that kills your family member, you tell me how you're going to respond to that. You're not going to give a shit if he had a shitty life. All you care is that he killed your loved one.
Right.
And that's what I'm saying. But I understand you're thinking outside the box, and you're not specifically involved in someone hurting you personally or your
Right.
family. But that's what I'm saying.
Right.
I'm not going to feel sympathetic to a fucking villain. I don't care how shitty life he had. I'm not.
Right.
You shouldn't. Nobody should. But again,
Well, again, forget that being sympathetic to the character. To me, what it does more than anything is makes the character more.
human.
No, well, it gives it more layers. So it gives it a more interesting character when you're watching
Right.
it because there's more. It's not just a bad guy for the sake of being a bad guy.
Okay, but let's go back. So where is it going to end? Oh, so what are they going to? So from here on, every villain's going to have a backstory why he's fucked up. Again, I wouldn't doubt it, but do I want to sit here and watch? Do you think a lot of people? I mean, at least personally, I don't think I want to sit here and hear Lex Luthor why he's a fucking fucked up rich fucking.
Right. Well, he's an ego maniac. you know?
But don't be surprised they make one. Oh, this is why. Oh, okay. This
His dad didn't love him. That was going on with Smallville, right? His dad never paid no attention. Well, even in The
Jesus
Exorcist,
Christ.
in The Exorcist, that demon, like everybody thinks the demon is evil because he took over the little girl, but they don't know what that demon went through in hell to get to the.
Oh man, he had me for like a second. I was about to rebuttal that.
Wasn't it the devil though? He said it was. He said it was the devil.
actually Satan himself.
So, yeah. Okay, so I'm
Yeah,
out.
That
I'm
was
done.
actually that was a good one.
All right,
Because
I'm
I
done.
know. I'm already pulling up the cross.
Look, the devil. Look, if you think about it, he got cast from heaven, right?
Right.
He was like God's favorite angel,
Right.
right? So he's a little pissed. So
Yeah.
so he's possessing little girls, you know.
Okay.
So
All right.
understand that.
I will.
Okay, guys. So I guess we'll have to wait and see really when the movie comes out. I
Right.
think we should definitely go see that one because it does.
You guys go see it, and you guys let me know how
Tell you about
great
it.
it was.
All right, for sure.
right.
I'll let you know.
He's gonna wait for Netflix
Am I?
if it still exists. If Disney hasn't
Oh, I know.
took it or blockbustered it.
All right.
That's the new thing.
Ándale.
They got blockbustered.
They got blockbuster.
Yeah, Blockbuster. Well, no, I still think it's pretty strong. Netflix is still pretty strong, dude.
We'll see, dude. We'll
Okay.
see.
Well, what are they doing new? It's still streaming. There's nothing different. It's still streaming. So
Yeah, but
Well, también because people get Netflix and Hulu and
yeah, but that's what I'm
And
saying though.
Prime and all
I
that.
don't. I mean, look, I see Hulu and Netflix, and whatever they have that doesn't have, I'll watch it.
yeah.
So I don't favor anything.
yeah,
you know?
I don't think it's gonna happen. Nothing's gonna happen. It's just gonna be another thing that somebody's gonna have.
Yeah,
Well,
it's just another account.
It's just
people are
like
gonna
Channel
have.
7, Channel 2. I mean, did you
Yeah.
ever go, fuck Channel 2? Channel 7 exists now. It depends what they're showing.
Right.
That's how I see it.
Right.
For a while, you're right. It might change, but it's not going to happen overnight.
No,
dude.
for sure. I mean, think about with Disney, you're gonna get the Hulu,
Right.
right? So right there, you're taking two things like for the price of one, and I think it's even cheaper. Like if you get it for one house,
Right.
or one TV or whatever, I think it's gonna be like $6 or
Yeah,
something.
But again, it depends on the person.
Yeah.
What if they have episodes of Buffy the Vampire on Netflix, not on Hulu, not on Disney, whatever? What are you gonna do? Oh no, fuck it, because Disney's new.
nah, I
You don't
don't-
give a shit. You care about the shows. That's how I see
I
it.
think people are just gonna add
Well,
it on as another app.
Right.
That's it.
Well, okay, I know, no, I agree with that, but I'm saying like, between Disney and Fox and all that stuff they own now, that's not gonna be on Netflix. I mean, if you think about it, a lot of the stuff that you see on Netflix nowadays, doesn't it seem like straight to DVD stuff? Am I wrong?
Well, of course, but see, you're just thinking of the actual streaming. They still have, as far as I know, they still have the DVD service when you can actually order the
Oh, okay.
and the Blu-rays.
Yeah, they do have it. Yeah.
They still have it, so that's an advantage and still over them. Now, unless Disney does doing that too, but I don't know.
I don't think they will.
That's what I'm saying. But that's the advantage of Netflix. You can do that. But
Yeah.
again, let's be honest though. You're right. I would say 75% of Netflix is crap. But then you get jewels. You get diamonds in the rough, I guess.
Not for long.
no, because
No, because Aladdin's gonna go over
Oh,
to
yeah.
Disney.
nice. I just see, like I said, I've seen. ¿Cómo se llama? Like, what's that another phrase of saying that? Like, I see gems. I see
Yeah.
gems in between all this crap. I'll
Yeah.
be watching a movie and then it'd be like a B movie and you're bored and you're like, I'll give it a shot. And then it's a great fucking movie.
Right.
And it's underrated.
Right.
And that's how I see it, where like you can bash Netflix all you want, but like I said, I've seen a few movies or even documentaries that only Netflix has, originals, and it's fucking amazing. They
Yeah.
have the comedy, they're
No.
they're comedians, stand-up comedian. I like the Tambourine with Chris Rock.
Yeah.
All that stuff to me is like, So that's what I'm saying. I'm
Right.
not gonna hate on Netflix just because they have shitty Bollywood movies that I'm not interested in. Don't they? I'm not against Bollywood, but that's not my thing.
Okay, but to your point of the movies, though, they do have a lot of original stuff that is actually really cool.
Right. Wait, Netflix?
Netflix, yeah,
Yeah.
they do have a lot of like series and stuff like that are
Right.
super cool that you would watch.
Right.
You know.
it's funny that you're reminding me. SNL had a funny little skit. What was actually, they do like short little movies about it.
Yeah.
And it was about Netflix, and they were talking about how the people that go pitch their movies, and it's like, okay, it's about a girl sold. it was so well done. They're like,
Yeah.
okay, this guy's walking in the dark, and he's like, go on, and he goes, and then he goes, sold.
Right.
He doesn't even finish the pitch. The guy's like, wait, you didn't even hear it. Like, but they threw him money.
Right.
So it's like, you're right. There's some degree.
Some stuff is really good, the
Is it-
original stuff, and some stuff it's not.
Right.
But maybe to me, there's so many
Right.
people in the world that somebody likes something and I don't like it. That's
Yeah.
fine. To each their own.
Hit or miss.
Hit or miss with Netflix.
All right.
But you know what I do hate about Netflix? That they're recently added is the same as their trending or their, like you scroll and you've seen the same movies over and over
Right.
and over and over. And sometimes you have to kind of look for something that you don't know is there. You have to kind of dig through it to eventually find something like
Right.
search. Like sometimes I'll just search movies by letter and I go, oh shit, I didn't know they was here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the other thing I like about the streaming, not just Netflix, is when you have, and it's funny, if you have so many options. I don't know about you, but there was one night where I literally did not watch anything.
Right.
Because I was going through my options, and I literally went and nothing. I actually I fell asleep, like scrolling,
Yeah.
because there's so many options, and you don't want to make the wrong decision, right? You don't want to go, I don't want to waste 2 hours of crap. So I end up just scrolling until I just knocked out, and that's what put me to sleep.
Dude, that happened to me last night
See?
with Hulu.
Hulu too.
I was just scrolling
Right.
and
Nothing.
I blacked out, I guess.
That's what I'm saying. So what happened with Hulu? The only cool thing about Hulu is I only have 3 or 4 specific things that I like.
Yeah.
So I know I go straight to it. But Netflix, like, I want to give stuff a shot, and
Yeah, I want to give stuff a shot too, but I always keep going back to the ones that I like.
right, watch again.
Yeah.
You have that option.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
All right.
All right, guys. So that's the Joker and Netflix.
And Netflix.
The Joker Netflix talk.
All right, that's good.
Alrighty, guys.
On Movie Rewind.
Okay, guys. So moving on to the next thing. Today we're gonna talk about Victor's and mine favorite superhero of all time, which is
I don't know if you heard that.
the drum roll. Maybe
I did a fake drum roll on the table, but go ahead.
Yes. Superman movie. The movie. Superman the movie.
The movie.
And so
Or the movies.
The movies. So
The
yeah, what
movies.
we're gonna be doing is we're just gonna be kind of comparing them. We're gonna do Superman 1978
Love it.
to the Superman Man of Steel
Man of Steel.
2000 something.
Hope.
Yeah. So we're just gonna go over a couple things and see where we're at. But I'm getting the feeling that we're both on the same on the same one.
Well, maybe Kathy can put her input. Maybe there's something she doesn't like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You haven't even asked. What do you think of Superman, or which Superman did you like the most or the least?
Uh,
Do you even like Superman?
Do you even
I-
like Superman?
Yeah, I like Superman.
Who's your favorite DC character or superhero from DC?
I don't think I have one.
Uh,
Well, yet.
Yeah.
Yet. I'm still looking around.
it's only been like 60 years.
Hey, I got time.
We can wait another week or
Another
so.
week for one more hero.
We have patience.
I didn't know there was a deadline.
But after that, oh man, we won your answer.
Okay. So we're gonna talk about, first of all, let's start from the top. We'll talk about the Superman himself. So in 1978, Superman, and I'm calling the 1978 Superman so everybody understands what Superman I mean, and the other one's Man of Steel, which we all know which one is Man of Steel.
Okay.
So we got Christopher Reeves on 1978, and we got Man of Steel. Yes. Henry Cavill for Man of Steel. It's very, very small. Yes, one supporter. Okay, so as far as Superman, well, what's your take? Have you seen them both, Kathy? Right, you've seen them both, of course.
Yeah, I think I've seen them both. Have I? Oh, it's been a while. Yeah.
Well, you saw the thing.
I saw the trailers, yeah.
Before we started, to kind of
Yeah.
refresh your memory.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but
Um,
I was always very 1978 Superman.
That's more of Superman to you?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Why?
Because he's a sweetie.
The sweetie? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's a sweetie.
And he likes pink.
Yes, he does like pink. But we're
Oh,
trying to
I-
keep this PG-13. So please, Oh, because when he's getting interviewed and Lois asks him, "Do you like pink?" And he's like, "Yes, I like pink very much." Okay, that's what you meant. Okay,
Yes.
all right.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I
I
misunderstood.
don't know. Okay. Wow.
And I just love the way he flies.
Right.
The flying.
Yeah.
You like the way he flies.
Yeah.
Okay.
He makes it real. Like,
I don't know if he makes it real, but
The cables.
the cables.
no, because
Oh.
I saw I saw a little bit of the making,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and he said that he was really trying to make it real, like
Right.
the way he moved.
Oh yeah, for sure. He's
Yeah.
into it.
Yeah, he's totally into it. That's what
Right.
it is.
Right. Right.
Totally into, and that's what I like.
Yeah.
That.
I did. I got some pointers on that too. I think it was amazing for the time, because remember at that time there was no CGI, not
Oh,
even
for
close
sure.
to it.
Right.
And certain things that they did, and again, I'm gonna say maybe the wrong wording, the way they express it, but the way they did it was there's a scene where they have a projection behind
Right.
him, but it wasn't just him behind in front of a projection or behind it, whatever. You know what I mean? There's a
In
projection
front of it.
In front of. They also had a certain thing where he's actually standing and he's just putting his hand up, and the way they made it rotate like in a capsule, and then the screens in the back, so it had more of a realistic point where he's pointing up, and it looks like he's backing away because the background was also zooming. I remember when he was flying away from the
Oh
earth.
yeah.
Even though now we look back, I guess we could see that it was a projection, but
Yeah.
it was still well done for the time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like you're right, the strings, the way they had him on him, he said he maneuvered his body or moved his certain angles of his body and his arm to fit the way he was being pulled up with these strings.
Right.
That only he pulled out. I'm not saying no other actor could have, but I don't know if you remember the behind the scenes. They were talking like in the when they were testing it out, he was just doing it up and it looked fake as fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then when he actually did it, he did the whole in the facial expression. Obviously, that has to do with a lot with acting
Yeah.
and physical acting, I guess, with the body. And you're right, he pulled it off, and
Yeah, he did.
so believable. That especially that scene when he catches Lois Lane when the helicopter's about
Yeah.
to fall. Even that whole scene, everything about it seems real. Even to this day, even though, like I said, a lot of people will be like, "Oh, it's outdated. It's not." It's still freaking amazing. I'd rather see that Superman flying than any CGI Superman anytime.
Right.
Because the CGI one, yeah, you'll see some cool stuff, and it is cool. Like I said, even the newer one, but it's not like the other one where there's some believability because he was actually there on strings. You just don't see the fucking strings.
Yeah.
So there's some believability. Did I say that right?
Believability.
There you go.
Believability.
There you go.
I get it. It's believable.
Yes.
Yeah, rear projection is probably one of the oldest special effects,
Right.
that there is that they used in the movie.
Right.
Um,
Oh, I'm sorry. When he flies away at the end of the movie,
In
he's
space?
in space. Oh my god.
he looks at the camera.
He looks at the camera,
And-
which is how did he get a camera in space?
Yeah,
And another astronaut flying with next to him. But I was really impressed.
yeah. So, as far as the character himself, as him, Superman.
Again, because remember, there's some nostalgic input involved, so I guess it would be a little unfair because I grew up with him, and that's the fantasy that we all grew up with and see him. But as far as his acting, it was amazing. I believe he was Superman. To this day, I still imagine. I think Superman. I think Christopher Reeve. I don't think these other cats, these other
Yeah.
big buff guys, and I don't know.
Yeah.
Right.
Except for the, I ain't gonna lie though, when you look back and there's that bright blue.
Right.
That's the only thing. It kind of reminds me of El Chapulín Colorado
Yeah.
because there's that thin thread and it's so bright in
Right.
comparison to the new guy when he looks. The new guy looks like, even though it's cool, he looks like a freaking like an alien.
Yeah.
Like if I would see another human or another person that kind of looks like human, but it would be like an alien skin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I don't know why they went with that, but
Right.
whatever.
Yeah, for sure. The costume technology advanced. Well, I don't know if it advanced or they were just trying to stick so much to the actual comic book and like if you
the
would've-
original Superman.
the
though.
original Superman.
Yeah.
Like, had you taken that to Donner, he would have been, what is this shit?
Right.
Super. Have you seen Superman? Look how he looks. He looks
Right,
like this. What is this? He's
Right,
not going.
that's
He's not going diving. You know?
Yeah, and I noticed that a lot of the comic book movies, for whatever reason, all the producer, director, or even the movie, the actual movie film company, they're like, Nah, we're not gonna go with that. It's too dumb. It's too, and I don't understand why. I mean, they still could have made a Superman that color, but even more, I don't know, detailed, more.
Yeah.
They could have still made it work to some degree. Why did they have to make it almost like? Isn't it like a metallic dark blue? Or
Yeah, it looks like a black
metallic
sometimes.
Yeah,
navy.
why didn't they make it more Superman-y?
Superman,
Superman?
Superman.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, I know. I mean, for sure, the other costume from '78 could have been maybe thicker or maybe
Right.
something that made it. But I don't know what was available back in those days.
Right.
for costume making.
Right, and you're right. They're trying to just stick to the comic book. That was
Yeah.
the mentality
Yeah.
at the time.
I mean, when you look at the costume, in the comic book, you
Yeah.
can't really tell what it's made of.
right.
But maybe they're sticking to was it George Reeves? You remember George Reeves, the
George
TV show?
Reeves. Yes.
Maybe they're going, well, it looks like that, but yes, Christopher Reeves is better. It is
Right.
advanced a little bit. Maybe some guy from
Yeah.
the 50s or something is like, what is this crap?
And it's funny
Why
because you
is
said
it-
that George Reeves looked like a carnicero, huh?
Why is it in color?
He looked like a carnicero. They're like, I didn't. And I don't know if you remember the TV show George Reeves. And okay, we understand we get the suspension of disbelief
Yeah.
when Clark Kent is Superman. It's pretty obvious to the viewer that Clark Kent is Superman, right?
Right.
You don't need to tell me later. Oh my God, it's Superman. You kind of know it's obvious, right? But what I'm saying with George Reeves. The only reason why they pulled it off on the Christopher Reeve movie was because remember Clark Kent, he would act goofy, he would act very clumsy, so I guess based on the personality, that's how you would distinguish him.
Yeah.
But if you watch the TV show, I used to watch it, and I remember I couldn't tell the difference.
Oh, he was cool as hell.
He was cool as Clark Kent, and he was cool as Superman.
Yeah.
Like how in the hell cannot Lois Lane see that it's Superman? Like,
Yeah.
wow.
other than the obvious, but. His personality was same, like, hey, and he would have that detective, 1950s detective attitude.
Yeah.
And then he go change, and he had that confidence. So
Yeah.
that confidence was always linear, straight.
Yeah.
So I don't understand how they were like, yeah, he's gonna wear glasses and a hat, and she'll never know.
Yeah.
Or,
Well, okay. So you like Reeves? You
Yeah.
like Reeves?
Yes.
Yep.
I like Reeves. I'm not gonna make it longer than we have to because most of the points that you guys are probably the ones that I'm thinking of too.
Okay.
Like, so actually, he is a friendlier Superman. He smiles. He talks to kids and he's like,
He talks to kids.
you know what I mean? He's a friendlier Superman. Now the other Superman, I'm gonna talk about the other Superman now, the Man of Steel. It's not that I don't like him. I think he's a good actor and all that. I think that he couldn't look like a Superman. He does, a modern Superman, but I don't know if it's the direction that made him so sad looking. So depressed looking, so heavy minded. Like something's like just
It's bothering him.
Yeah.
bothering him so much. Throughout that he can enjoy that he can fly,
Right.
that he's strong as hell,
I know.
that he's super fit. He's really
Right.
good looking. I mean, oh God,
Well, not only that,
Why?
I didn't like the way his dad died on this movie.
why was I dealt this card?
Right. Why am I good looking, strong Superman? And I also didn't like the way his dad was portrayed. His death. I didn't like. I don't know.
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
They were really pushing that the world is not ready for you. And it's to some degree, there is a reality to that. They probably wouldn't. The world wouldn't be ready for Superman. But still, though, it just like don't help me, son. This is the way it is.
Right.
Fuck that. I would have gone with my dad. I don't give
Yeah.
a shit.
Yeah.
I don't care how mad he would be at me.
Yep.
Right.
Because the other one, he died of a heart attack.
Right.
Superman wasn't a doctor,
Yeah.
so he couldn't really fix him. But
Right.
the other one, he could have saved him. Dude.
Yeah. So back to the Superman. Sorry, just a quick point. I think that like I said, he looked like Superman. There's Supermanish about him.
Supermanish.
There's a Supermanish feel to him, but the character himself was not that Supermanish.
Uh-huh.
So you would think, okay, in the beginning he starts a little gloomy and it's gonna build up to something, but the gloominess just went through the next 3 movies or whatever,
Right.
which that's another story. But now to my next point. Okay, you mentioned a little bit about it.
Mm-hmm.
Who made when this is a stupid question, I don't even know why I'm asking it, but
Ask away. There's no stupid questions.
who did better Clark Kent?
Well, based on what? Remember,
on the movie.
based on what? I mean, again, Christopher Reeve, they made him clumsy.
Yeah.
You the goofy
And again, I'm going to say this because I grew up with that Superman and I bought into it and I still to this day love it. The only thing about it is that why did he have to be that fucking stupid? Why did it have to be that clumsy? It almost seems like, it almost seems like, why did he need to be that far off from Superman? He didn't have to. You know what I mean? they made him look nerdy,
Yeah.
dorky, clumsy, no confidence. Like, really? Do you need all those elements in order to separate the fact that Superman and you know what I'm saying? Like, because the other one, he wasn't acting.
Well,
No.
The other Superman didn't act that fucking goofy.
No.
but that's what made it. That's what made you people think, no, that can't be Superman. Look at this bastard.
No, but again, I'm not saying not to throw a curveball in as far as personalities and distinguish them. But, dude, all I'm saying, remember, I grew up with it. I love the Superman, the original 70s. I like that one. But let's be real. We're older. We start really nitpicking and analyzing certain things. And that's one of the things that I'll be like, they didn't have to go that fucking dorky.
You know what? I don't even know if it was dorky as much, Victor, as he was from a small town and he played to that.
Oh, okay.
I'm in a big
okay,
city.
I didn't see that.
But I'm a small town guy, and this is how small town guys behave. You know, he's polite.
Right.
He's respectful. He gets up when a woman gets up. You know.
Right.
You know, he's.
Yep. Okay. I agree with
He
you.
played that character to you know
Right.
that's where he's from.
Right.
Clark Kent.
Right.
That's where Clark Kent's from. That's how the people were in his
Yeah.
And I think a lot of it had to do with his dad. You know, the way he brought him up.
Right.
So, Kathy,
What?
Clark Kent would.
Any pointers on the?
So I'm just hearing you guys talking. I'm like, okay.
I'm sorry. No.
So, no, that's what I'm saying. Clark Kent. We're taking turns.
I don't know. I don't really have anything to say about Clark Kent. I like the Christopher Reeves. You know, I didn't mind the Man of Steel one either.
I'll be honest. I don't remember.
Yeah,
That's the thing.
Because
That's the problem.
Because I don't remember. I think that's why I don't mind him.
The thing is, the thing about the Man of Steel one is that there isn't no difference.
Yeah.
Well, same thing as George
Well-
Reeves on the TV show.
Yeah. So and I mean, Christopher Reeves, he stands out. You remember him like that.
But
Right.
that's what I'm saying. That you can. But if you wouldn't, the point of that was that you wouldn't think he was Superman because he's so
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
different. There's such a contrast. Whereas this guy, like, you look at him at a certain angle. Wait a minute.
Was that the director?
Was that Superman? It could have been the writer. It could have been
Could've
the
been the
writer.
writer.
It could have
Yeah.
been
Could have been both.
Could have been both, or it could have been how he chose to play. But I think no.
It could have been the shot too.
you know.
Maybe certain shots he wasn't that clumsy, and they go, "Give me more clumsy,
Yeah.
or give me more serious."
Yeah, because maybe Christopher Reeve made a character that were like, oh, that really works with
Right.
to show a different, because it's just glasses.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
there's only so far you
Yeah.
can do with. I mean, and that haircut, or not
I
the haircut,
always-
but
I
the way
did
he
not-
brushes his hair.
I did always think like, how can Lois not see it? Is she
Right.
blind?
Well, no, but that's one of those things in movies where like
Yeah.
buy into it or not, we don't care. Like that's
Well,
it. We're
you know-
setting the rules. But you know what? The only thing I have to give you about Christopher Reeve in the Superman one is that for whatever reason, when he became Superman and he would look at Lois, I believed that he was in love with her.
Yeah,
Like, call me a little bitch, but I was like, I believe he could, like, they
Well-
would stop at night and I'd be like, and my eyes were like, oh, they're in love. These bitches are in love. Which I don't know if you know behind the scenes, they actually didn't get along.
no, they didn't like each other.
So fuck, that's good acting, man. And he would look at her in the eyes, and I get obviously has something to do with the cinematography and
Yeah.
the editing. But they would look at each other, and I'd be like, those motherfuckers are in love. They're probably
No.
they're probably doing some shit off the cameras. No, they weren't.
No,
you know?
no. Yeah, I remember. I'm not saying they didn't like each other, forever. I'm saying, but through filming,
Right.
I think Superman. I believe Superman. Christopher Reeve was so into the character that Lois like Margaret Kidder, Margot Kidder,
Margot Kidder. Yeah.
that she was like, dude, we're just making a movie here, fool. You're not really Superman. And
Yeah.
but he was like, on.
He was like,
he
"Yes,
was
I
on,
am."
He's on it. Right now I am. Right now I am Superman.
Right.
But to your point, that point of like you believe that they were in love and all
Yeah,
that stuff.
no.
Well, that's the other side of it. I loved how Clark Kent was jealous of Superman.
Right. You're right. You're
Oh,
right.
him again.
Right.
You know,
Yeah, there was that
right.
one.
she would say like,
You're right.
"Oh, him again." Like,
No, but to some degree, he knew it was him. Oh, that's funny.
of course he knows, but it was good for him. It was good how he played it out. Like he was,
Right.
he was jealous, and she would tell him, "Oh, you don't have to worry about it." He's,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? He was,
Yeah,
he was jealous of Superman. He was pretending because he knows. In
Right.
his head, he goes, "I got this."
Yeah, and I also like when he was talking to Lex Luthor, which is what's the actor name? I forget his name.
Gene Hackman.
Gene Hackman. When they're talking in the underground, whatever, he was talking to him about, throwing nuclear bombs at certain parts of the world.
Yeah.
And the way Superman was, he also portrayed like there was, like you say, maybe a small town. There was some innocence about him,
Yeah.
even though you don't need to be from any small town and then to know that hey, fucking nuclear bombs is bad.
Yeah.
But he had that innocence, like I can't believe you're gonna kill people. It's like,
Yeah, like, yeah,
it's
he
like
could've-
Superman. There's nutty people in the world. It's like I can't believe for your. There was a part where he said, like, I can't believe you're gonna do that, and it's like,
Yeah.
dude, believe it.
Is that
dude.
is that how you get your thrills or something? Like
Yeah,
by,
like-
by planning the death of what is it of innocent,
such a-
millions of innocent people?
Such, there you go. The word. He's such a Boy Scout. He's
Yeah,
such a
exactly.
Boy Scout.
Well, he is
Yeah.
the Boy Scout.
Yeah. Great.
But
Great
yeah,
stuff.
for sure, dude, for sure. So okay, so Clark, 78 Clark.
Yes.
78 Clark.
78 Clark. So 78 is kicking ass. So far.
It's kicking ass.
Okay.
One man.
Okay. All right. Now, so we talked about Clark, and now let's talk about the. We'll just talk about the music real quick because to your
Yes.
point about I wanted to make a point when you were saying, oh, it looks like when he looked at her, you know,
Yeah.
you said maybe the editing, maybe the way they shot it. That music, yeah.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
y'all remember
Oh,
the music?
I know that whole.
Jeez.
It's like,
Can you? But
can you? What is going?
can you read my mind?
Can you read my mind? Little
That's the only
bitch?
part that I was.
I felt like I was flying with him. It was like, imagine an 8-year-old with a big Superman. Can you read my mind?
Can you see what it is that you're doing to me? Oh, why do I remember that? That's what I'm. That part was a little bit too long.
It's okay.
That was a little bit too long.
I also kind of like when she fell her ass. And
No, that was cool.
that was cool.
But that whole like that flying, like okay,
Yeah.
we get it, but it did seem a little like okay, dude.
Let's drop it and let's go.
We're kids.
We're kids.
We're kids. We don't really care about the
Right.
romance aspect too much.
Right.
But okay. So yeah, that fall was cool.
That was very
It
cool.
But to the music, I mean, it's like
The music was brilliant, dude. The music, but it's. I mean, again, it's John Williams, dude.
Yeah.
He can't do no wrong when it comes to that, dude. He's not. He's not let me down yet.
it's like we said, he's the theme maker, dude, for sure.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That whole. I'm telling you, I like the credits. Like credits are coming up. I'm already like.
At the end too, when before he flies off.
Right.
Anything, dude, like just any part of that music, you know,
Right.
that romance stuff you were talking about,
Right.
you know, the Lex Luthor dun 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 dun. Oh no, that's Otis.
Oh,
Dun, dun,
Otis.
dun, dun, dun. You know,
Right.
it's kind of it matched Otis, dude. The music.
Right.
Dun, dun,
And
dun,
is it just me or that movie original Superman the 70s? Is it just me or was it the original Dusk Till Dawn? And what I mean by that, Dusk Till Dawn, if you guys just to refresh your memory, it started as a gangster bank robbery movie with no vampires,
Right.
and then it went to vampires, completely. Fucking totally the opposite way.
Yeah.
The way you would see. If you never saw the trailer, you'd be like, "What the fuck just happened?"
I
right?
love that. And that's what I love about that movie.
Right. But if you notice, I think Superman was the original because the first hour and a half was Smallville.
Yeah.
And it was about him.
Yeah.
There was nothing, no city, nothing. It was about him and the way he built up. And then it went from that to the city. And I feel like it was literally 2 movies put together, even though it was about Superman. But if you notice, if you typically in a movie, at least now, you get a first 10 minutes and then it goes to wherever it's going to continue on.
Yeah.
This one had a whole fucking hour.
Yeah, it was pretty long. The movie
Right.
was long, and you know, there's that was edited. There's a longer
I believe
version.
it.
Yeah, there was a longer version that I think I saw it once on TV. Mm-hmm. But we'll get into that. Kathy,
Whoa.
yeah, Kathy, music.
Oh, I mean, when you just hear the first, you know, the dun 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 dun.
John
Oh,
Williams,
Superman.
So you like it too?
Yeah.
You agree? Oh, see, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, now on the
Because
oth-
I don't know what music did they play on Man of Steel.
Well, it's not memorable.
It's not.
memorable. is it?
Sorry, it's not.
And I think
Yeah.
we talked on one of the other prior episodes.
Yeah,
It's good, but it's not memorable.
yeah. I mean, when we were watching the trailer for it, it is beautiful.
right.
It is beautiful. I love hearing it. There's certain, not the whole soundtrack. I can't hear the whole soundtrack like I could hear the Superman soundtrack.
Right.
But it does have this music that is freaking amazing.
Who
you know?
made it? Isn't that
Hans Zimmer.
okay? The guy from Inception, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it is for sure. It has some beautiful music.
Right.
But again, it's not. I don't feel that it's a theme though. It doesn't say.
Right,
doesn't
right, right.
scream
No, I-
Superman.
Yeah, it doesn't say Superman.
Yeah, like
Completely agree.
you know what I mean. When you think of Superman, and I made this point before when you see the third part, was it Justice League, right? I think that's when Danny Elfman took over the music or something. Mm-hmm. There's these parts in the movie where he throws these little parts of Superman. When Superman shows up at the end, you hear that little little bit of a Superman, little bit of that Superman theme, and he does the same thing with his own Batman soundtrack.
Right, he did his own like a little rendition of it.
Just a little bit of it, and
Right,
then
right.
for you to go, oh, you knew Superman was coming, or you knew Superman was just
Right.
that by a little,
But I also feel like they had to.
yeah.
Like almost to some degree, they probably had to in order to like get that excitement going because
Yeah, I really enjoyed hearing those. Just that little bit of Batman and that little bit of Superman. I wish it
Right.
would have had more,
right,
but I guess every movie has their own
Right.
thing. So music, sorry, music. You went with Williams.
Well,
You went-
definitely
Kathy, you
John
went with
Williams.
Williams, and yeah, I'm gonna go with Williams for sure.
okay,
All right. So moving on. Why beat it? We already know it's good. So another
we
one.
can't go wrong.
Another point for 70. Only because not that it's not as the music is not beautiful, but we agree that it's more memorable. I don't know if it because it's older, but
Right.
no, that's not because it's old. I think because it does have that punch, that theme.
Right.
That I'm Superman, motherfucker.
Yeah, right.
Okay, so moving on to the next one, and I'm just going by Man of Steel and 78 Superman.
Mm-hmm.
Story. Which one had the better story?
Well,
And we'll break it down into two things. We'll start off with Krypton. Who had the better Krypton?
well, as visuals, I think the new one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously, to me,
Yeah.
it was actually visually beautiful. I mean, I get it. It was CGI, but it was like, it almost seems like they actually did go out of their way to make it. The production designer, along with obviously the CGI, because production designer can't do all that.
The art direction for sure.
And the art direction, I think it was brilliant. I did enjoy the.
Yeah, I enjoyed the Man
right.
of Steel one. Yeah.
Had much more, but then again, we're talking. The way I see it, it's timed where the original was dated, and it was but besides that, it almost seems like the creativity part of it. Maybe they were sticking to the comic because I could have swear I saw it in the comic where it was very similar as far as the crystals and all that.
Right.
And the star, it looks like a piñata. When
Yeah.
the rocket. The other one said, "Screw all that shit. We're gonna make our own fucking moldy kind of."
It does have a more limited field for sure. The
Yeah.
78 one, as far as
Yeah.
let's make it's like saying, well, let's just make these and this will be our set and fuck it.
Right, and almost I
Yeah.
just feel like the original was like chandeliers everywhere. Like
Yeah.
it felt like
Yeah.
somebody went like they literally live in a glass house and everything chandeliers. But again, but you're right. We bought into it. It's fine.
Yeah.
We let it go.
Yeah, but because it's so small, imagine. I mean, I
Right.
was,
We're not hating.
but I was bored of that town. I mean, like, dude, where's the mall? Where's the?
Yeah, it's all chandeliers.
Yeah, like it's all like yeah.
So fuck this shit. Lamps are us
Lamps
everywhere.
plus.
So for sure, so for sure, that was a little bit
Yeah.
kind of a boring. So
Right.
much so maybe it was designed that way because when you do see color, when you see Superman's suit in the
Right.
well, not his suit, but that blanket or whatever they put him in,
The original, the 70s.
78.
Okay.
Dude, that color really stands out. It's like the aluminum foil looking.
But see, that's what I'm saying though. I didn't like that it looks it implies fragileness.
yeah.
You know.
Is that the only color available? You know that
Right.
was the.
It screams fragileness. Everything's fragile. Chandeliers.
Yeah.
And I guess maybe because they couldn't build this big production of explosions, so they had to probably give something where, yeah, the more shattering, the more glass, the more intense could
Dramatic.
be. You know.
I mean, there could have been more to that planet, but what we saw was
Right.
wasn't great.
Right.
For what the movie, I guess. If
No, that's what I'm saying. We
But, I mean-
accepted it for what it was, and but I mean, again, we're comparing it to the neural one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the neural one had.
Now the
much
newer
better.
one had better technology, so that you can start the CGI and all that stuff. You can do that, but it was taking away the CGI. It was more interesting to look at
and the whole
the animals and all that
No,
stuff.
what's his dad? Kyle? No,
Jarrell?
Jarrell,
Jarrell. I said Kyle. Jarrell.
Caillou.
Kyle?
No, Jarrell.
It's Jarrell, right?
Yeah, Jarrell.
Even his explanation of the Earth and all that, and their planet is going to die. Even that was interesting to me.
Yeah, they did have a.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a little more in depth.
They hired a scientist. What would happen?
No, that's what I'm saying. Because the other one, if you look at the original, like they literally told them like, "Hey, we're gonna fucking explode." Shut the fuck, bitch! Like it was very simple. This is gonna explode. Like Marlon Brando would briefly told them, "We're gonna die, fools," and they're like, "Bullshit."
It's
All these fucking gods, all guys with big bullshit.
Krypton is just shifting or something. The planet was just adjusting or something.
Right.
That was the excuse.
It was so plain and explain. But again, I grew up with this, so I'm gonna be okay with it. But what I'm saying, the other one, I like the fact that they did explain more. He broke it down more in detail. Even
Yeah.
though I'm not a scientist, but the fact that he went that route, I did
Hey,
like that.
what did they say in Man of Steel? Did they know? Did they know that it was gonna blow up, but just said fuck it?
No, it's kind of like now global warming ain't real. You know,
Oh.
like, oh motherfucker, we can prove it. We don't care.
I can't remember right now, but for as far as Krypton, I think for the animals, for the visual, even though it was kind of like living in a mud house or something, because it was very
Yeah,
dark.
Right.
But but the technology and the stuff you did get to see
Right.
was very interesting.
Yeah.
Like the animals and the like. Even though I didn't like certain things, it was still more. It looked livable, as
Right.
opposed to the other one where it's like,
Yeah.
Chandeliers. Yeah.
yeah, we're just eating.
So I definitely would give it to the Man of Steel.
Man of Steel.
Yeah.
So Man of Steel wins for
Visual design and art. What is it?
No, for Krypton.
Krypton. I'm sorry.
For Krypton.
Oh shit, he's dissecting the shit out
So,
of it.
yeah, well, dude,
You got it.
I want to be fair, dude.
No,
I
be fair.
want to be fair. So now we're in Krypton. We're in Krypton.
Okay.
Okay, so Jarrells. The Battle of the Jarrells. We got Russell Crowe
Mm-hmm.
for Man of Steel, and we got Marlon Brando.
You know what's funny about that? I don't give a shit about Marlon Brando.
Right,
Now, and hear me out. It's maybe because I knew the backstory. He was such an asshole, and he got paid a lot of money.
right,
And I didn't understand. Like, to me, he wasn't worth the money.
right.
They could have gone anybody else, and I think anybody else would have done the job, and they could have saved us a few money. But obviously, at the time, Marilyn Brando was the shit.
Right.
But I don't see the big deal. Have you ever seen someone so arrogant that you don't want to like him? Like, I don't care how good he is. You're like, no, fuck you. I'm not gonna give. And that's how I saw it. And again,
Oh, okay.
maybe not at the time because I
Right.
didn't see the behind the scenes that when I saw it in the theater. I just fell into the whole story. So Marlon
Right.
Brando talk to me was more like a stepping stone to the next scene. So like, yeah, Marlon Brando's dad. Yeah, he's gonna send his kid. So just to show you that I didn't even care how much money they spent on this guy. I was like, yeah, it could have been anybody to me.
Right.
But then you hear the backstory later behind the scenes, or you hear documentaries about it, and he's like, he's an asshole. I was like, oh, even worse.
Right.
I really don't arrogant asshole, like
Right.
at least for what I heard. I don't know. I never knew him personally, but
Right.
he seemed like an arrogant asshole. You
Right.
know, it's like,
But
I didn't-
taking that out of it,
I knew you were gonna say that.
taking that out
I
of
felt
it.
it. And he was dying to tell me.
what about the
Fuck your opinion.
No. Not saying your opinion, but your personal opinion on Marlon Brando. But
On
I'm
the
talking about
actor.
the Jarrell, like
Jarrell.
Jarrell. I mean, I love the speeches that he gave.
Yeah.
The speeches that he gave. He will never, he will never be
But
alone.
You don't think? You don't think his arrogance came out in the actual acting? It almost seems like Billy Zane from Titanic. Not the better half. I just had that that tone of like arrogance. It was like, dude, calm the
don't know.
fuck down, dude. You're fucking.
He looked concerned trying to,
Did he? Did he? Because there's a scene where it's like, I just feel like he was so snob, dude.
Well, he
We're
did.
gonna die. Fuck you guys.
He did look very sure.
My son ain't dying.
He did look very sure of himself.
I'm sorry, it's just how I saw it. Eddie.
No, he said he promised that neither him
He's
or
like, all the chandeliers are gonna break. Fuck you guys.
he said neither him or his wife are gonna leave. Well, you got it. He made that promise
Right.
or whatever, and he kept it. But
Okay.
then he didn't say anything about his son
Okay.
leaving. But then you have Russell Crowe, which is
I mean, that was good. Okay.
I liked him too.
Okay. No, I'm not telling you to agree with me. But that's
No,
the whole
no.
point. We all have our own opinion.
No, I say I liked them both.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I see.
I like
I
them
don't-
both. I like Russell Crowe take on it. I didn't go, oh, that's not Jarrell.
I know that's not Marlon Brando.
Jarrell would never say it like that.
Not my Marlo.
That's some bullshit. Jarrell would say it so much differently, But no, I like his take on it. I like how he acted. I like how concerned he was
Right.
about the planet and how he kind of pleaded with them and they still were like, fuck you. And
Right.
finally he's like, fuck it, I'm leaving, the whole thing about his
Right.
kid. Doesn't the movie start with him being born, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Him being born. That was cool. That was a cool
Yeah,
scene.
but see, this is where I guess it is a little different because remember the Russell Crowe scene. Remember, he also had part 2. If you really look at it, it had General Zod.
Yeah.
So they embedded that 2 stories.
Well, that's two different. I think
No,
it's-
there was 2 stories. Remember,
Right.
General Zod in the 70s one there was Superman and there was Superman 2.
Well, that's what I'm saying. There's two different stories in these movies, and that was gonna be
No. Remember, well, all I'm saying is that particular scene, those 2 scenes are taking their son out of that planet.
yeah
But then the newer one embedded that
in the
General
same
Zod.
in the first one.
That's
yeah.
what I'm saying. So that's why, to me, it's like it almost seems like maybe there shouldn't be a comparison because there was something else involved in
Well,
this.
they took Lex Luthor out of the first one.
Oh, you're right.
Put
Okay,
Zed,
you're right.
Zod.
Right.
And in the first 78 one,
Right.
they took Zod out and put in Lex Luthor.
Got it. Okay.
Which eventually they were going to
Stand corrected.
cross paths.
right.
What were we talking about? The
Jarrell.
Jarrells.
The
Which one did you
Jarrells.
like better?
Well, I didn't know. I mean, there's no. I didn't like either or. I mean, I liked them both. I
Yeah.
liked them both.
Mm-hmm.
I thought they were the Marlon Brando. I just liked the way he talked, and also
The voice was good.
Yeah.
You know, Russell Crowe también.
Yeah, I really like those, like, my son. You know,
Yeah.
that stuff. Do not what did he say? Do not intervene with human
right.
history. Well, that stuff was cool, but you could say that's the writing. But he did deliver it well.
Yeah, the delivery.
did deliver well,
he-
just-
Yeah.
Both of them did good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're gonna give it to Man of Steel only because
Hey, you don't have to give me shit. I'm just saying.
No, I'm not giving it to you. That's how it is. That's
That's how it is.
that's how it
bitch.
went.
All right.
You went with Crow,
Yeah, I did.
so we're giving it to Man of Steel.
Man of Steel.
Man of Steel because it's a tie.
Yeah.
Right.
So Man of
Oh, okay.
It's a
It's leaning more Man of Steel.
Man of Steel.
Oh man, so fair. I like.
yeah.
This is always fair. This is the fair show.
This is the fair
The
show.
movie rewind fair show.
We should change the name. Only because we like either one,
Right.
so you're the tiebreaker in a sense. You know what I'm saying?
All
Because
right.
if you would have liked either one, what do we do?
I like
There's-
tied
you-
when I
you
wash
tip-
my clothes.
you
Oh,
tip it.
tiebreaker.
Yeah, tiebreaker.
Okay.
Tied.
Okay, so that brings us on now to the. Let's go ahead with the story.
All right.
The story.
I thought we hit that.
Well, we
Didn't we just-
no. The story we
He's dissecting scenes.
we're
or,
dissecting scenes in the big story, but for example, okay,
Eddie likes the Supermans. Eddie,
Yeah, we know Superman is,
Yeah, he likes the Supermans.
okay. So the story, the part one, we have him. You know, he gets on the both of them.
Right.
We're up to this point. We're in the same boat, except
Right.
there's more in Krypton. There's about 30 minutes of Krypton in the
Yeah.
first movie.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry, in the Man of Steel movie,
Yes.
where they're introducing Zod and all that stuff. They both are, you know, they're both exiled.
Exiled. Exiled.
What is it?
Oh, now you got me fucking up.
Exiled.
Exiled.
There
Yeah.
you go.
Sorry. We're gonna edit.
Exitos.
Make me sound smart. They both got exiled from the.
I'm just gonna leave that.
Yeah.
They both got exiled from Krypton,
right.
which ended up doing them a big favor
Right.
because the planet was about to blow up.
Yeah.
So Zod's like, "Oops, thank you."
You're right. That's funny. That.
You know? Okay, they both.
And I didn't. By the way, I didn't like they shipped him out on a ship. I was like, why ship him on a ship?
Yeah.
You just give him a free pass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Put him in that freaking glass. Put him on the glass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then we have they both the little Supermans. They go fly off to Earth.
Mm-hmm.
They go fly off to Earth, and this is where it deviates really big.
No.
Superman 78 goes to his hometown
Right.
of Smallville.
Smallville.
He's found by the parents,
Right.
and Superman cuts off to the future. It's
Right.
we don't as about to enter the Earth. It goes to the future.
Man of Steel.
Yeah, it goes to present day or whatever. Man of Steel, right?
Right. Right.
So we'll start with Superman. One of my favorite scenes in that movie, Superman, is in Krypton. I'm sorry. In Smallville, when they find the toddler Superman, and the dad Jonathan Kent, he's changing the tire, and the car's about to roll on him, and all of a sudden,
Yeah.
little
and then-
Superman's holding
and then
the
you
car.
hear-
Yeah. And they both and
love
him and Martha Kent, they both look back at the hole where they found him.
You're just saying that because your mom said, well, I remember, oh, that looks like me, Eddie. Ah, fool, didn't I look like you?
No,
Say that?
We're watching it. I think your mom's like, mira, parece Eddie. I looked at her like, yeah, cut.
I look just like Superman, guys. Everybody knows. No, but you know, and they look back at the hole and they're like, but at the same time they're like, my thought right now that I think about it, well, you just found them in a crater. You know,
Yeah, why are you surprised?
Alien
you can pick
didn't.
up a.
You think Alien was part of the deal?
Well, tell me this though. Didn't it throw you out when the kid was a little asshole too? Like he wasn't like oh shit, I can do that. He was looking at that like this, like, well, no one can see it, but he had that look, assholes. I can pick up a truck.
No, I don't think he was an.
I don't think he had a smirk on his face.
I think he was
Maybe
just like. I
maybe
think
I'm
he,
thinking everybody's arrogant.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
God
think
damn
he-
it.
I think he felt like he did something good. You know that.
Oh,
like
okay.
he was doing something good. You know and I think to him it was probably normal. because he can't. I mean, he's a little kid. He doesn't know that he's
I
strong.
think wasn't John Kent?
Jonathan.
Kent?
Mhm.
I think he should have had a heart attack right there and then. Why we wait until he's a teenager?
Oh, we were good. We're glad he did. We didn't
No,
because
I know, but I'm saying
because he raised them.
I understand. I'm trying to be funny, Eddie. You took away my
Oh, I see.
no.
This is very serious
don't.
too.
This is a serious topic to Eddie. I'm
This
so
is serious
sorry.
Superman.
I'm just saying, I would have had a heart attack. Fucking kid picking up a truck.
Yeah,
You know, that's not a normal thing. You know.
yeah, for sure. And I think that's kind of what helped him because he didn't want to keep him. Remember, it was Martha Kent who was like, "Come on, let's keep him. We'll say he's my kid's
Right.
my sister's kid or something."
Yeah. No one's gonna notice we have a kid like that's already
But in
5
those,
years old.
But in those days, you know,
Yeah.
there's no internet. There's no one
In
search.
those days, it was easy to forge a birth certificate.
They're not
Right.
criminals. Who's gonna go? Hey,
And every neighbor was like 3 to 5
2
miles away.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
There you go.
You've been here
Okay.
for 5 years.
All right. How about you
That's
to
how they
it?
were able to play it off.
But to your point, as far as like him dying right away, son of a. I think that what makes Superman is a discussion that we talk about all the time, which is that whole, what is it, nurture versus nature, you know, as far as Superman. And I think that Superman wasn't born a good person because there was clearly evil people in Krypton.
Right.
So he doesn't come from a planet of saints.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, okay.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He was made. I'm sorry. He was raised to be a good person
By the
by his parents.
By his parents,
By his
right.
dad. Because think about it. At a
So
teenager,
what you're saying is there would have been a possibility he could have come and been in the wrong family,
Oh, dude.
foster care, and he could have turned
Yeah.
up fucked up. Can
Check-
you imagine? General Zod would have had a fucking party because it
Dude.
would have been 4 fucking menacing people.
imagine, dude, I raised that fool.
I could actually.
We're in trouble, dude.
He wouldn't even know he had powers. You fucking deny your own son.
You playing video games all day.
Imagine waste of power. Jesus Christ.
But back to the point is that he was raised to be a good person or a decent person.
Right.
Not against nobody, not a good person, decent, like I said, and that really shows because, you know, he knows he has powers. He knows he's fast. He knows he can kick your ass. But he's still not that he's afraid of his dad, but he respects him.
Right, because the parent gave him good parenting from the get-go.
Yeah. And his dad's not afraid to tell him, hey, dude, what are you doing? Showing off. Remember doing a bit of showing off, son?
Right.
And he's like, oh, man.
Well, then to some degree there was some sort of shame. It was shaming, you know? It almost
Yeah,
seems-
I thought so too.
I took it like there was some shaming. No, but in a good way where, you know, you don't do that. Don't be
a show off.
Right.
That's
Don't
not
be a
shaming.
Okay, you're right. I'm
It's
sorry.
saying don't
Wrong
be
word.
an arrogant prick just because you
Right.
can do all
Don't
these
be a
cool.
Marlon Brando. Yeah.
He told him, he goes, sometimes all these things I can do, sometimes I feel like I'm gonna fucking burst.
Right.
And he's like, I know, but
right.
you know. So we got that whole parenting thing. You know, his dad dies.
Parenting thing.
His dad dies,
Uh-huh.
which is you really see him feel it, you know, and he has that whole speech about all the powers he has and there's nothing he can do because he's really not aware yet
Right.
of what he can do.
Right.
You know, he could do that whole Earth reverse thing, which is a thing that we'll talk about later, but
the what?
the Earth reversing thing.
Oh, don't get me started. Oh,
yeah, that's the thing that we were glad he didn't do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So then,
But go on. Oh.
yeah. So now back to the other side. You know, we see him that he's older now when he gets back. And what else happens? He's out in the world trying to find himself or find his parents or trying to find that ship, right? So
Yes.
he's trying to find the ship to,
That kind of gave me a Transformers.
yeah,
They found a spaceship in the Antarctic or North Pole or whatever.
yeah.
That kind of gave me that. I was like, that's like a Michael Bay scene here.
Yeah, he was clearly raised also to be decent, obviously,
Right.
to hold it. And they give really good examples. I really do like the Smallville stuff that Man of Steel showed. I wish they would have shown more, and maybe I even wish they would have shown them in order as opposed to flashbacks. Because you know that part when he's freaking out and he's like getting his powers, you know, like where you can see things like in X-ray vision. He's seeing
Right,
everything.
right.
He's seeing everything at the same time
Right.
and hearing things. And his mom comes and talks to him and kind of calms him down. His dad, his advice he gives him, and you know, I really like Kevin Costner as
Right.
his dad and all that. My issue with the movie was where the unnecessary him taking off to find, I don't know what the hell he was trying to find, what he's gonna find. Like, all these questions
Well,
that
he's trying to
didn't-
find his purpose because remember, he's fully aware that he's an alien.
Mhm.
I mean, and he's been living on a different planet. He as far as he knows, there's nobody survived. I mean, wouldn't you? And you have powers. I mean, that part I did embrace again, not because I'm from another planet and I have powers, but I can see how he's trying to find his purpose. Eddie. He's trying to
Yeah.
find that. So, should they have and focus on that too much? Maybe not. But I like the fact when he saved the kids. Remember from the bus,
Yeah.
all that.
Yeah,
That-
because he
Right. The only thing, like I said earlier, we were talking about it, where his dad said, "No, don't help me. They're not ready."
Yeah,
Like,
that was-
no, fuck that.
that was
I
bullshit.
disagree with that. Let's be realistic. I would have helped him. I don't give a shit.
Especially how fast he was.
Yeah.
Who's gonna see him?
Right.
He's so fast.
And so what does he worry about? A couple of people and like, remember we said Smallville. There wasn't a news.
Yeah.
What does he worry about? I mean, when the kid, remember one of the sons said, "Oh, I saw what your son did."
Yeah.
So what?
Yeah. All these witnesses.
At the end of the day, he grew up, and so what? Nobody
yeah. Nobody give a fuck.
give a fuck.
And
I'm
and-
mad already.
and it's funny. One of the interesting parts of this movie got cut off because of that fucking tornado. Was it tornado? Is it a tornado? Is that
Yeah, one of
Yeah.
those fucking things.
Because
Midwest.
there's tornadoes and cyclones. I don't know which one's which, but the tornado. was.
Tornado. Let's go with that.
When he's telling him something, he's on his ass about something. His dad.
Uh-huh.
And he's like, "You're not even my dad, or you're not even my real dad,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
something." And I was like, "Ooh, you son of a bitch!
You motherfucker.
You don't talk like that.
All
You
those
don't-
fucking all those honey nut Cheerios you ate all those fucking years.
Yeah, you don't even Cheerios in part one. Remember
Cheerios,
Cheerios?
right? Yeah,
Cheerios,
see,
that
I
fucking,
remember.
that fucking commercial.
You
How beautiful!
motherfucker. I'll kick your... And then he goes, what?
Yeah,
I'm just kidding. Go on.
those fucking how beautiful was that scene, dude? When his mom was out in the field and he walks up to her from when he's in the farm in part one.
Uh-huh.
His mom is out in the field and she's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
"You have to go." And she's like, "Yeah." And
Yeah,
he
yeah.
walks out there. It's just shot like a fucking painting, dude. It was fucking
Yeah,
beautiful.
it was beautiful.
But back to that, there's that scene, and then it gets cut off. I'm like, I wanted to see what was gonna happen. If he was gonna realize that he was being a douche to his dad or whatever. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then it gets cut off because the tornado, whatever.
Yeah, maybe that was another guilt thing. Maybe that's why he took off and he feels like shit, Like, that's a big burden, dude. Like, I could have saved my dad and I was an asshole at the end.
Yeah, all that. That's
True.
true.
But that, so that's why you want to find yourself, dude.
Yeah, but good thing they saved the dog though, huh?
Yeah, fucking... I don't want to say, man, but god damn it. I'm sorry. I love dogs. I love cats. But in a situation like that, a dog and a cat don't mean shit to me. I'm sorry. I'd rather save a human. And yet, sometimes I feel like humans don't deserve it. But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'd rather save a human,
Yeah. So, but yeah. So that's where we're at. I think that was kind of like a little BSy. Like he could have saved
Yeah.
him if he wanted to. I think a natural death would have been better.
Yeah.
Would have been better,
Yeah,
like they did in the
like-
first one.
Like, yeah, dude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I loved. I'm not that I embrace death, but I'm saying I actually love that scene when the dad just walks and he drops, and then you know automatically, oh shit,
Yeah.
shit, some sad shit's about to happen,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
And it was very Gone with the Wind, everything
Yeah,
was
the
panoramic,
fucking-
Gone with the Wind, very Panavision.
Whatever they shot it into, where you see the
That's
widescreen
probably
version,
Panavision,
it's fucking beautiful, dude.
Yeah,
That fucking, what is it, 70 millimeter?
probably.
This
most
is
likely.
fucking amazing, dude. The camera
Yeah.
movement, everything, dude. The cinematography,
What is that? 2.85? No, not even like 3 point something as far as the
the width and all that.
yeah.
I don't know, dude. But
fucking.
It's
Yeah,
beautiful.
Panavision though.
it's beautiful. 0.5.
Yes.
So as long as we're on that cinematography,
Oh, cinema! Don't get me started with that. Especially the Smallville part. That whole
dude.
brilliant shit. And I don't know if you notice, it almost seems like they capture a lot of the actual natural lighting.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure there was lighting involved,
Yeah.
obviously. But as far as the outcome of it, the final product, it looks natural.
Yeah.
So if it wasn't natural and they made it look natural, fucking applaud them, dude, because they look fucking.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Pristine.
For sure, dude. We were talking about the trailers when the first trailer came out. I think it was like a couple years ago when the first Man of Steel trailer came out.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was telling you, I'm like, it looks so dark. It looks so cloudy. It looks like the first trailer to me was like I'm like, remember I told you, did they make this for Twilight fans? What the hell? Seriously, dude. I mean, it was like,
I thought it was an alien movie, like aliens,
Yeah.
not Superman alien, like
yeah.
insect-looking fucking reptilian kind of aliens and shit.
And that's the thing I'm talking about the tone and the color and dark
Yeah.
and like
Right.
Yeah.
with the success of Batman being so dark, with the Nolan stuff.
Right.
But tell you all the time, that's the difference between Superman and Batman. That Batman is dark because that's who he is, and Superman is brighter.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean? And they did try to fix that in the last movie when they made his suit even bluer. It was like actually blue now. It wasn't Superman 78 blue, but it was,
Right,
but it
right.
was
Yeah, you
blue.
could see a blue
you could
tone.
see a different.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that is blue. You know
Right,
what I
right,
mean? So, as far as tone, and color and all that, I give it to Superman 78. Like as far as the cinematography and all that,
Yes.
like you could really see it even now, even though it's old or whatever, and you have that film look.
Right. Even the scene where in the city, like when he starts saving people.
Yeah,
That whole first 15 minutes when he became Superman, and he was going from even from the cat scene and everything. All of that was well done.
how fun was that?
That was fun.
That was fun.
Yes, and he was just flying when he nearly saved the cat and he flew away. That alone, I was like, oh, he's flying.
Mom, a flying man gave me.
He's fine.
Remember, a flying man gave me the cat or whatever. And
I remember my dad saw that movie, and my dad's like, he's flying.
Yeah.
Well, he said, está volando. But he says he's flying.
Remember that scene, dude, when he brings the cat down?
Right.
And he's like, mommy, a flying man brought the cat down, whatever the name of the cat. And he goes, what did I tell you about telling lies? And she slaps her.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. I remember that scene.
Because the morning Superman was,
Right.
I mean, all those scenes were fun and cool. Like when the jewelry thief, he's climbing the thing.
Right.
Something wrong with the elevators.
Yeah.
And he falls back.
Love that.
And the boat that he gets the ship from the what is it, the bank robbers or
Yeah,
whatever?
and then the guy hits him with a crowbar.
Well, that Superman, the 78 Superman, is more like introducing Superman, which the Man of Steel, you're not introducing him anymore.
There's just another.
Yeah, like está siguiendo.
No, it's like another take.
No, yeah,
Yeah.
it's a different, it's like a remake or a reboot or whatever you want to call
It's a
it.
reboot.
I
yeah.
think that's why the 78 Superman is more likable then, because
Right.
you see it from like the beginning.
In theory, that's the original. Even though there was a TV show,
Well,
that's the original.
well, no,
You
not,
see it in stages.
well, however even if I re-edit, if I was to take the Superman movie from 78 and I re-edit to make it look like flashbacks,
Porque-
it's still a happier tone.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Because the Man of Steel, like you said, it has flashbacks,
Yeah.
and so you don't really see it in
They're not
stages.
maybe not complete
Yeah.
thoughts or scenes or whatever, but it doesn't take away the gloominess. And I don't think my issue is that how they edit; it's the gloominess of it.
Yeah.
That, like for example, when he goes, the first time we see Superman fly in Superman, it's in the Fortress of Solitude, where he spent like 10 years or whatever talking to his dad, where he's teaching him about everything.
Yeah.
And he has the suit all of a sudden, and you hear dun 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 dun, and he goes.
Right.
You just see that couple frames of him flying out, and that does that fucking epic curve.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
What does he do? He's smiling. Why? Because he can fucking fly. You know?
Right.
The other Superman, he walks out. What the fuck? He's like just thinking, And the cool what saved that scene for me is that when he jumps up, he actually was happy that he could fly.
Right.
He goes, oh my God. He's like, you can tell he's enjoying it for like a second.
Mm-hmm.
And then he falls, whatever, because, and then he starts again and then he's enjoying the flying. That was cool. But then, I forgot. I'm sad again.
The emo.
And he broke the sound barrier. Like that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. He was like, I forgot. Yeah, I can fly, whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm still sad.
Gotta think of my dad.
Yeah, I gotta be
I
sad.
should have saved him.
Emo is in this year. Twilight.
No wonder I'm a little dark.
Yeah,
Hey.
Fuck
So-
hope. Hey, fuck hope.
And and when Superman first comes out, like we said in the 78, it's fun scene after fun scene after fun scene.
Yeah.
So they give you that. They give you all that, before they get into that
Right.
serious stuff that it's gonna get to with
Yeah.
Lex.
Uh-huh.
That freaking helicopter scene.
Oh, I love that scene.
That is right.
I love that scene. The whole scene, I'm telling you, that from when he goes, the guy's talking to him, and he goes, "Excuse me," and he took off.
That's a
dude.
bad outfit.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
The whole- yeah.
And he catches her, and then, like helicopter, and he grabs her,
Right,
and
right.
they bring her back up. And he's all like, he calls her ma'am or whatever the fuck,
Right.
All right, guys. So we're gonna end it here because we're out of time. We're gonna definitely continue this conversation in the second part, but we can't finish it tonight. We'll be finishing this up, and we'll get that episode ready for you guys. So if you're hearing this, there'll be a second part. So guys, thank you guys very much for listening, and Victor, thank you like always, dude.
No problem.
And Kathy, thank you for showing up today and being part of this conversation. If you want, you can come back for the next one.
Thank you guys.
Yeah, it was fun. All right. Peace.